of an old school kind of late 80s, early 90s vibe that, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Kevin Costner film No Way Out. I know obviously that's a lazy comparison to make because Costner's in it. I wouldn't say it was the greatest film I'd ever seen by any stretch, but I thought it was, the kind of change of pace, it kind of was a bit like the Jack Reacher film with Tom Cruise as well. It was, it wasn't trying to be amazing or kind of blow your mind around, but I thought it was good entertainment.
Okay. All right. Well, I think both of you are saying that it's not the worst movie ever made, but it's it's kind of all right. Stuart, no, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of average.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's without further ado, what do you say, Stuart? Will we get into the top 10?
Yep.
All right. Number 10, taking £375,585 this week, £1,777,150 altogether, is The Devil's Due.
Yeah, it's just awful. I would have thought that the Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, would be better than this, but it's a much better film. This is just terrible.
Okay, number 9, talking about hanging around, £426,313 this week, £42,388,688 altogether. It's The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, or Schmaug, or whatever you call him.
Yeah, I think everybody actually knows how we feel about it. Me do. I think we're in the same boat when it comes to the Hobbit films. I don't agree with you with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but with the Hobbit, I agree with you.
Okay, fair enough. Paddy, have you seen it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
It is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I really loved it. I thought it was a massive improvement on the first one. Massive improvement.
What did you think of the first movie?
I thought it was a huge disappointment on nearly every level until the last 20 minutes.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm heartened by that. Number 8, £471,757 this week, £6,280,154 so far. Las Vegas.
Yeah, as I said last week, it's an old age pensioners' version of The Hangover. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you might enjoy this. It has a few decent jokes in it, but that's about it.
Okay, coming in number 7 is the first new entry of the week, taking £537,310. It's August, Osage County.
Yeah, it's based on a Tracy Letts stage play. She also did Bug, which William Friedkin did, and he also Killer Joe was the other play that she did, and again William Friedkin did that. This one is directed by John Wells, and it just centres around a very dysfunctional family. There was an interview with Meryl Streep saying that you need to watch this film at Christmas because then it shows you what a family is actually like, how a dysfunctional family works, because Meryl Streep, she's amazing in this movie. But it seems to have the same problem as a lot of these Oscar contention films. There's some brilliant acting in it, but the story surrounding it is very lackluster, and it needs the acting to actually push the film forward.
Okay. Right, number 6, the second new entry of the week, taking £757,966. It's the Coen brothers. Am I pronouncing this right? Inside Llewyn?
Yep.
Llewyn Davis?
Yep.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't, because like I said, I'm not much of a Coen brothers fan.
Oh yes, you said that last week. Paddy's just looking horrified here, by the way. I think
a lot of people normally do look horrified when I say that. So,
yeah.
But Andy saw it, and he is actually a big Coen brothers fan, and he thought this movie had a good start, a good end, but the middle was just completely void of anything.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I have to say I want to check this one out. Okay, number 5, £987,259, £11,213,966 altogether. It's American Hustle.
Brilliant acting, very weak story.
Okay. Number 4, £1,103,905 this week. That's £35,581,127 altogether. Frozen.
Yeah, we loved it.
I loved it, didn't we?
Yes.
Stuart, tell Paddy he needs to go and see this movie.
Yeah, you definitely need to go and see Frozen, because they're re-releasing it with the musical, with the song lyrics on the screen as well. So you definitely really need to see Frozen.
Yeah, sing along Frozen, Paddy.
Okay, I'm sold.
Right, number 3, the third new entry of the week, third and final new entry of the week. Taking £1,278,187. We've already talked about it. Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit.
Yeah, we've already gone over what we thought of the film itself. I think it's, like I said, it's an average film, but average can't be bad. If you just want to go to the cinema to see something, instead of seeing what's out there, like the Oscar contention films, you want to just see a movie that's slightly different to that kind of thing, then this is probably one of the better films to go out and choose to see.
Okay. Number 2, £2,235,837 this week, £11,039,927 so far, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Lupita Nyong'o, brilliant acting from them. There is a tiny little problem with the film itself. I know I said last week that it's practically flawless. However, I was mulling it over in my mind, and it's Brad Pitt who's the slight problem with the film. He's in the film for around about 10 minutes, and his character is just a very nothing character. He doesn't bring anything to the movie at all. Mm-hmm. And when he's on screen, especially when he's having the conversation with Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, it just feels like it's just there to maybe have a bit of normality in the film rather than seeing the brutality from the slaves. So it just doesn't fit the film at all. He was just in there because he's a producer of the film as well. What was even worse is that in Italy, they released a poster where they put Brad Pitt as the main actor in the film and Chiwetel Ejiofor as a tiny little actor just running across the bottom of the poster.
Brilliant.
So... yeah, the missold it in Italy as well. That poster had to be taken down, and the studio demanded that the people who created the poster to apologise, because obviously Brad Pitt is only in it for 10 minutes.
Paddy, have you seen this?
12 Years a Slave, yes.
Yeah, and what do you think of it?
I thought it was a fantastic piece of filmmaking. Very harrowing. It's not the sort of film you're going to get on DVD on Friday night with a few cold beers and a pizza, but and it's an important story, and it's told very well. Everybody involved. It's beautifully filmed. But yeah, it's not perfect, but it is a very strong piece of filmmaking, I thought.
It's a movie I really want to see. I just can't face going to see it in cinema. Do you know what I mean? I kind of want to watch it in the house over 6 weeks. Do you know that kind of way? I'm not sure I could take that much trauma.
I can see where you come from.
Can I just interrupt and say you guys have got me in so much trouble?
Why?
Because my girlfriend is listening in, and she just sent me a message saying that we're going to Frozen and I have to sing along. So thanks a bunch, guys.
We want proof of that as well, so we can put it up on Following the Nerd.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, £3,608,968 this week, taking £10,903,399 so far. It's The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, here's a little question for you. How much do you think Jonah Hill was paid for his role in Wolf of Wall Street?
60 grand.
Damn you.
Yeah.
Well, $60,000.
Yes.
So it's around about £35,000. That's ridiculous, that.
It is.
For his role in Wolf. It would have been understandable if it was like a 5-minute cameo. But he's in the film a lot. He's a supporting actor in the film under Leonardo DiCaprio. So
yeah.
For him to be paid that much money is ridiculous. I liked the film. I didn't love the film. I thought it was too long. There was elements of the movie that could have easily been cut out of it to make it around about 2.5 hours. It was just Martin Scorsese having too much fun.
There's no such thing as too much fun.
Yeah, there is when it's just 3 hours of it. It could have, half an hour of it could have easily been cut out.
Do you know what? I loved it. I thought it was... We talked about this last week. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. But the more I think about it, the more I want to see it again, because I keep remembering these great scenes and great little bits in it, and I'm like, I really want to see that again. And the more I talk about it, because my mates are going to see it, and they're starting to talk about it, and I'm like, I need to see this movie again. Do you not feel that way about it, no?
No, because I don't want to sit through 3 hours of it again, to be honest. I don't know if I can actually manage to sit down for if I could actually find 3 hours to be able to do that. But I don't think I'll actually be able to sit down and watch it for the entirety of it again. I just might be slightly more bored. The same thing might happen like it did with Iron Man 3. When I first saw Iron Man 3, I thought it was an average film. When I saw it the second time, I thought it was actually worse than that. So I might have the same feeling with it.
Paddy's giving you a thumbs up here. But did you watch it a third time?
No.
Here's the thing, right? I felt exactly the same way. I loved it in the cinema. Watched it the second time, thought it was really boring.
Is that not what they did in Clockwork Orange? They just sat you down and made you watch the same thing until you liked it?
No, what it was? I was actually giving it the review one night, and I watched it, and I really, really enjoyed it the third time. So no, it's a weird movie, but I do know where you're coming from. Right, Stuart, what's happening this week?
I have 2 reviews to do, so I'm going to quickly go through them. But the other 2 films that are out, which we'll be reviewing on my show, Monday Movie Show, on Monday, That Awkward Moment, Zac Efron's new romantic comedy film, that was out on Wednesday, which Andy has actually volunteered to go and see.
Right.
So yeah, he's going to be sitting in a. He actually went to see the Twilight films in the cinema as well.
It's all coming out now.
Yeah, I really do need to have a serious sit down with him and have a serious talk with him on that front. He's also going to see Out of the Furnace, which is the new Christian Bale crime drama.
Yes, which I'm hearing is really, really good.
Yeah, and so the two films that I've seen, I'll get on I Frankenstein in a moment, but A Lone Survivor is the Peter Berg film, the guy who did Battleship. Battleship's an awful film. It's a horrendous movie, and it's sort of like he's come back slightly with Lone Survivor. It centers around 4 soldiers who were sent in to capture this person who was executing a lot of people, who hates Americans, and he seems to be executing a lot of not only his people, but a lot of Americans as well.
Wait, is Rihanna in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But Taylor Kitsch is in it.
Who's that?
Who was in Battleship, and Emil Hirsch is in it as well.
Is he the guy that was also in X-Men?
Yeah, he was Gambit in X-Men.
Yeah, Ben Foster, Mark Wahlberg make up the 4 team, and it's not a bad film. It has problems in the fact that you just don't feel anything for the characters until an incident where they're getting shot at and they need to throw themselves over a cliff to get away from the oncoming terrorists who are actually trying to kill them, and sort of. There's about a minute scene where they're just falling down this huge, massive cliff and smacking off trees and hitting off rocks and things like that, and you feel every crunch of bone, and you see cuts on their faces appear and the blood splattering all over the place, and it's done sort of like the slow motion feel to it just to add a bit more impact to it. It didn't need that, though. It's just at the start of the film, it tries to give backstory to the characters, and you just don't feel anything for them there. And at the end of the film, it tries to say, not all of these people who were involved with this guy are bad guys. So it tries to add a bit of sentimentality to it. It's the middle part of the movie which works. It's the stuff at the start and the end which doesn't.
Okay, all right. Now, talk to us. This is a movie I really can't wait to see. No, I'm only joking. Tell us about I, Frankenstein.
It's utter garbage.
No way.
It is absolutely horrendous. Honestly, it is really horrendous. It's got Aaron Eckhart, who plays Frankenstein.
But
he actually says he doesn't call himself Frankenstein during the film itself. He gets called Adam. And right at the end of the film, it's not giving anything away at all. Right at the end of the film, he goes, I, Frankenstein. It's sort of like a new release from Apple. Apple releasing a toy kind of thing, and I, Frankenstein, is their latest toy model. They're going to stick an MP3 player in his belly or something.
I just want to go to the cinema to throw popcorn.
You need to throw more than popcorn. I felt like actually ripping my seat out and throwing it at the screen. You've got Bill Nighy, who can sort of like do really cheesy bad guys, but even his bad guy is really, really bad. It's just horrendous, the film. I saw it in 3D, and the 3D is completely pointless. It brings absolutely nothing to the movie. And I was hoping maybe it's like an arrow might have come to the screen or something like that, just so I could be slightly entertained. Because I nearly fell asleep like 5 times during the film. It's horrendous.
Are these movies actually in the same universe as the Kate Beckinsale wears really tight PVC movies? What do you call them?
The Underworld films. Yeah, it has a feel of Underworld. It has more of a feel of Van Helsing, and I hated Van Helsing. And honestly, it's bad. It's bad beyond bad.
Yeah, it just looks awful. It looks awful. Right, now, Stuart, we're going to talk video games a wee bit, but for anybody that wants to check out your Monday Movie Show podcast, where do they go to find you guys, you and Andy?
Spreaker.com/Monday Movie Show live every Monday at 7:30. Following the Nerd, you put it up practically straight after we finished doing the show. And you had the banner ready this week as well, so you were a bit more ahead of me. Mm-hmm. So, and my the website mondaymovieshow.co.uk.
Excellent, very, very good. Right, now, you have a little bit of gaming news for us as well.
Yeah, because you threw me an email. And I got the email just before I was going in to see I, Frankenstein about you saying you want to... It's fine.
I need a whip.
Yeah, that the email was probably the most entertaining trip to the cinema I had when I went to see I, Frankenstein. Just looking at the email, he wants us to talk about Gears of War. So, yeah, I think it was more entertained from that than the film. But, yeah, Gears of War is now actually being sold to Microsoft, and so Epic now no longer hold the rights to it.
So what does that mean?
Whether this is a surprise is not actually, considering that the Gears of War series has been exclusive to Microsoft's consoles anyway. And so there was no chance that Epic would have brought Gears of War to the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. So it comes as no surprise. Epic signing up maybe over their biggest IP probably is the most surprising bit from it. But saying Gears of War is an Xbox exclusive, no, that's not a